Hello everyone, Thempyrean here with more new cards. Yugi is back in Chaos Origin, a new set that features Yugi. It features Yugi on the pack. Yugi hasn't been on the pack in 20 years. He's sporting a little bit of a new look. He looks more like D-Sod, and he's got his BDSM jacket to match the Dark Magician of Chaos. But let's check out his new deck. So we had the Gold Sark for Yugi Moto. Now we have a Chaos themed equivalent with the Pharaoh. I'm interested to see what these are, what these look like. So first up, we've got Black Chaos, the Ultimate Magical Swordsman. So like a fusion between the Black Magician of Chaos and Black Swordsman, but not a fusion. It's a special summon monster. Dark Spellcaster effect, 30,000 attack, 4,500, level 8. Cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon from your hand by shuffling a Spellcaster or Warrior ritual monster from your hand or graveyard into the deck, which I imagine will be, we've got 2 new retrains for these guys, so it'll be either those guys or the original vanillas. I don't know if they're going to encourage you to play the vanillas or not. You only special summon Black Chaos, the Ultimate Magical Swordsman, once per turn this way. Hand or graveyard's a pretty easy condition, honestly. You can discard this card, place a continuous trap that mentions Ritual of Light and Darkness, that's going to be the ritual spell for this archetype, from your deck or graveyard on their field face up. Alright. This is, that's kind of feeling a little bit not Vanquish Soul, Voiceless Voice. Sorry, wrong V deck. It's feeling a little bit Voiceless Voice right now. Unaffected by your opponent's card effects while you have a ritual spell in your graveyard. That's a funny condition. Any activated card effect. That's crazy. So continuous effects still apply, but yeah. And then once per turn, you can banish 2 cards your opponent controls. So this is an upgraded version of Black Luster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, basically. It seems like a decent card. If the rest of the deck is decent, it's a pretty good card. All right. The one thing is, it's not a starter, so we're going to need some way to search this, I think. So just like keep it at 1 copy. Unless the continuous trap is a starter. I guess that's possible. Skull Archfiend of Chaos. So the Summon Skull's involved here, and it's an Archfiend card, so potentially it could work with the other Archfiend cards, but like the Archfiend cards don't do a whole lot, so we'll see. Dark Fiend, level 6, 2,500, 1,200. It's got the same stats. You can only use the first and second starting ones per turn. If this card is in your graveyard, hand or graveyard, you can target three cards in the graveyard or face-up banishment, including a card that mentions Ritual Light and Darkness. Other than Skull Archfiend of Chaos, place it on the bottom of the deck in any order if you special summon this card. Okay, that's a bit of a tough condition. It's not just a freebie, unless there's going to be a lot of stuff in here that I'm not expecting. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send a ritual spell from your hand or deck to the graveyard, add a ritual monster mentioned on it from your deck to your hand. That's insane. Oh, and that's what it says from the graveyard it can come out. And then it's just like free material, I guess. This effect is insane. That's crazy. Wow. And there's got to be a ton of ways to send this card to the graveyard. I mean, the only thing is that like, there's plenty of other ways to get ritual monsters and spells. It's just like, but like, I don't know, this lets it bridge into stuff like Mitsurugi and stuff. I haven't seen a lock yet, so. Mystical Celtic Sage, not a Celtic Guardian, but it is the Celtic Guardian. It's just he's a sage now. He's a spellcaster and a warrior. These guys should all be spellcasters and warriors, except for the Summon Skull. You can only use the first, second, or third turn. If this card has no more special summon, you can activate this effect. You can so only special summon the extra deck for the rest of the turn. You can only special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, or once. Oh, okay. I was skipping a word. There we go. You can only special summon from the extra deck once for the rest of this turn. Bad. That's rough. That's really rough. That is going to be the Shining Sark part of it, though, right? Also reveal your entire hand. Ugh. If there's a card that mentions Ritual Light and Darkness in it, you can draw 3 cards, then discard 2. Wait. So this is a fucking dueling skill on a monster. On normal summon, it lets you do a dueling skill that lets you do fucking Graceful Charity, but you can only special summon for the extra deck once. Stupid. Tribute this card. Special summon a ritual monster that mentions Ritual Light and Darkness from your hand. I assume that ignores the fact that they have to be ritual summoned, because it doesn't, like, there's no other it's written that way. It must do. What the fuck? Why did they make a Griforb Karibo? Why is it Griforb? Is Griforb the original material used to make Black Luster Soldier in the anime or something? I don't remember the exact materials used. Is that why Griff Orb is here? That's so funny. Gurifo. It's probably not going to be Gurifo. It's I guess the Uri is for the Karibo, right? Dark Fiend effect, level 1. It's got the Karibo stats, of course, 300, 200. We'll use the first effect discard you must return. Quick effect, discard, activate one of these effects. Next battle or effect damage you would take becomes 0 this turn. Okay, it's got the Karibo effect on there. So that's quick play spell or trap that mentions ritual light or darkness from your deck. It can be activated this turn. Okay, we've got some interesting stuff going on here. This trap card must be powerful or something. For the ritual summon of exactly one level 8 monster with the card effect that requires the use of monsters, this card be used as a tower tribute. That makes sense. It's like Sphere Karibo, but it's Griff Orb instead of Sphere. It's so cute. Look at him. Look at the face of the Griff Orb hat. Look at the Karibo. Oh, it's good. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're starting to get the full arts in the main sets now. Look at that. Oh, I love full arts. I'm never going to be able to afford one, but I love looking at them. Black Chaos, the Dark Chaos Magician. Level 8 Dark Spellcaster Ritual Effect Monster, 2800, 2600. Ritual summon this card with Ritual Light and Darkness. Like I said, it's going to be we're going to have to check out what that does. You'll use the first and third effects this card you must return. If this card is special summon, you can add a spell from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, fuck, it's Demok. It's got the Demok thing. Unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. Oh, it's got this is a rare effect. I think one other card has this effect currently. Where, is it? Oh wait, is it White Woman? Is it the fucking goddess of the underworld? Unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. So it's unaffected by non-targeting effects. I love that effect. It's such an interesting way. I mean, I don't love towers in general, but like if you're gonna have a towers, this is like a really interesting like reversal of the normal thing towers do. It's very cool. Spell traps you control cannot be destroyed, and also it's a pretty easy thing to out. A lot of stuff targets, so it's like it's not a like overwhelming towers, right? Spell traps you control cannot be destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effects. Ooh, and it protects your back row, which is probably pretty important since we have that continuous trap that seems to be pretty important. You can target one card your opponent controls, banish it face down. Are they all going to have that? Are they all going to have the banishing effect? Did Demok? I forget. Did Demok banish? Dark Magician. I know the ritual one didn't do jack shit. Destroys by battle, it banishes a monster. Yeah, okay. So it's more like the Blackluster Envoy at the beginning effect, but still, it did have the banishing in there because it was chaos themed. It makes sense. And then there's the Blackluster Soldier one. I don't like this one as much, honestly. It's kind of a big sword. SpongeBob, big sword. Pants okay. Okay, anyways. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Light and Darkness. How many times can we rename Blackluster Soldier to make a different card? Level 8 Earth Warrior Ritual Effect Monster. 3000 attack, 2500. You can ritual summon this card with Ritual Light and Darkness. You can use the first and third effects of this card in each one's return. If this card is special summon, you can target one opponent, card your opponent controls, banish it. I wonder if the ritual is going to be a quick then. Cannot be destroyed by battle, because we search quick effects with the other effect, or not, we just set them to the field rather. Cannot be destroyed by battle, unaffected by your opponent's activated effects unless they target this card. Oh, so it has the other way. So this one is unaffected by targeting effects, the other one's unaffected by non-targeting. That's cute. When this card destroys the opponent's monster by battle, you can make it gain 1500 attack. If you do, you can make a second attack in a row. So it's got the Envoy at the beginning effects. The only problem, the main problem I'm having right now is that right now none of this feels overwhelmingly strong, and it's probably gonna have to rely on the back row potentially. But like a lot of these are just like different forms of the Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning effect, and if that card was good, it would be good already, right? Well, but all the support cards maybe will help. Ritual of Light and Darkness. Here's our ritual spell that's like ever so important. You can only use the second effect of this card that you must return. Ritual summon Black Chaos, the Dark Chaos Magician, or Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Light and Darkness from your... Okay, so it's very specific there. It does need to do that because of the effect of the Summon Skull. From your hand by tributing monsters from your hand or field and or banishing monsters from your graveyard whose total levels equal or exceed its level. Wow, the banishing part is actually quite nice. Yeah, this is a decently strong ritual effect. It doesn't do from deck, which would be even stronger, but still not bad. If this card is in your graveyard, you can add it in one card that mentions Ritual of Light and Darkness from your graveyard to your hand. Wow. So we send it with the Summon Skull, and it adds not only itself, but another card that mentions it to your hand. That's not bad. It's a pretty good ritual spell. They got someone to really replicate the early Yu-Gi-Oh art style on this one, because that looks straight out of the manga. That's really nice. I love that. I love it a lot. Mystic Box of Chaos, a quick play spell. Here's one of the quick play spells we can set from the deck. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets another card you control, return one of those cards you control to the hand. If set, reveal it. And if you do, destroy one card on the field. Then you can special summon a monster that mentions Ritual, Light, and Darkness from your hand with a different name from the return card, ignoring its summoning conditions. Which I think means it can do the Ritual monsters as well, because it's ignoring summoning conditions. That's nice. That's really nice. So it bounces. It doesn't negate, which is I think a really interesting way to do this. It doesn't negate, but it does return one of the cards to the hand, which means that, like, if they use a non-targeting effect and you have both of the Ritual monsters on the field, you can bounce the Black Luster Soldier. The non-targeting effect won't affect the DMOC, and then you can summon back the Black Luster Soldier. Or if you just happen to have one of them in hand and you need to, like, save your quick play spell or trap card, your continuous trap, it works for that too. That's really cool. If this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon a Ritual monster that mentions Ritual, Light, and Darkness from your hand or deck. Has to be destroyed by the opponent though, so you can't pop it on your own. Chaos Hats. Chaos Hats. Quick play spell. When your opponent activates a normal spell or trap card or monster effect, choose 3 spell traps with different names from each other from your deck, and 1 monster in your main monster zone that mentions Ritual, Light, and Darkness. And if you use special summon one of the chosen spell traps as normal monsters, whose name is Chaos Hats in face down defense position, set the chosen monster and shuffle them on the field, and your opponent activates the effect become destroy one opponent's set monster. Oh, this is so funny. Okay. So, this, just like with the Pumpkin stuff, we end up with an effect replacement here. When your opponent activates a normal spell or trap card or monster effect, it has to be a normal spell or trap. It can't be any continuous or counter or anything like that. Choose 3 spell traps with different names for each other from your deck. It could be anything. Could be Gear Town. And 1 monster in your main monster zone that mentions Ritual, Light, and Darkness. You're probably not playing Gear Town, I gotta be honest. I wonder if there's any other things you would like your opponent to destroy like that. If you do special summon the chosen spell traps as normal monsters, with they're level 8, so they can be used as the whole material for a ritual summon. That's really cute. With no stats, chosen name is Chaos Hats in face down defense position, or name is Chaos Hats. And then you set the chosen monster as well and shuffle them, and your opponent's activated effect becomes destroy one's set monster. If you're using Mystic Box of Chaos, you get the effect to summon the ritual monster from the hand, because it'll be destroyed by the opponent. And it doesn't say a card effect, it just says destroyed by your opponent. So also, if they run into them in battle, it also triggers that effect. Very funny, very cute. Legitimately seems quite good, because it can also just get spells and traps on the field that you can get into the graveyard. Like, even if you don't want them to be destroyed necessarily, you can get them in the grave. There's nothing that says you can't use Waking the Dragon, right? Like or something, or like, what is the transaction rollback? You know, Mind Shuffle. Oh, that's cute. They're referencing the part where Yugi does the mind like the 2 Yugis do the mind, they go back and forth between who's controlling the body against the Pegasus in the Pegasus duel, which is where Dark Magician of Chaos gets summoned. That's like where the Black Magician of Chaos gets first summoned. Wow, that's cool. Only 1 continuous trap right now, so that effect is really only getting this 1 card right now. I imagine this will have more waves, just like Shining Sark did. Continuous trap, you only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You cannot activate this card's first and second effect in the same chain. During either player's turn, you can add 1 monster that mentions Ritual, Light, and Darkness from your deck to your hand and discard 1 card. Okay, so it's kinda like, okay, well, it's like Shining Sark in that it gets you a Shining Sark card, right? This one gets you a Ritual, Light, and Darkness card instead. But it does require you to discard a card. But then again, you also get to use it every single turn instead of just on your turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect, and that means you can get the ritual monsters into your hand to summon to the field with your effects, right? When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can return 1 level 7 or higher monster you control to the hand, special summon 1 monster with a different name from your hand that mentions Ritual, Light, and Darkness, ignoring its summoning conditions, which lets you do the Mind Shuffle with the Black Luster Soldier and the Dark Magician of Chaos. Cute. Okay, but are they good? Are they good? What are you accomplishing here? This guy is fine. He gets you the continuous trap, which gets you into combo. You probably run 3 of this guy. And then, like, if you want to summon him, he's, like, fine. He's a fine card. Banishing 2 is not bad. It's not a quick effect, though. It's an ignition effect. So it's not even on summon. This guy's good for breaking boards and for starting your combos with getting the continuous trap. Skull Archfiend of Chaos. I think the idea is with him is you're supposed to grab him off of the continuous trap and then use him as the discard, just like how you're using Pumpkin as the discard off his own effect. The discard is a combo part, right? But also you could use Foolish Burial, you could use Armageddon Knight. There's all sorts of ways to get Skull Archfiend of Chaos into the grave. And once he's there, he sends the ritual spell from deck or hand, and then adds one of the ritual monsters. The ritual spell then can grab itself back to your hand, and another card that mentions Ritual Light and Darkness. I don't know why there would be anything in there yet, but, you know, you can just get back to Summon Skull, I suppose. Oh yeah, you could get back to Summon Skull, use him as some of your material. The awkward part is that he's level 6 and not level 8. And he doesn't really have any way to make himself not level 6, right? So he's not the full cost. You need to use like the Celtic Sage in addition, because Garifo is either the full material or it's only 1 level. So you'd have to use 2 Garifo, which would be pretty brutal. So it's really just got to be Celtic Sage. It's the only one that has enough material. I guess that's another cool thing about the Black Chaos, the Ultimate Magical Sword, then it is full material for the thing. That's a little awkward, for sure. But it's not like it's doing a ton, it's just like an extra body when it comes back to the field. So it's not a huge deal if you can't use it. It's just like, I wish it was doing more in the deck. But this also means that, like, any deck that can send Skull Archfiend of Chaos to the graveyard can search... I can get a ritual spell in the graveyard that might be able to come back to the hand, and can get a ritual monster to hand. Which could be Hamakiri, right? Like, you can't forget that. Wow. Okay, Mystical Celtic Sage on normal special summon. Right, it's Graceful Charity, and then... it can also just summon the ritual monster from the hand for free. Oh god, do we play this then? If you're trying to make this deck, do you play this guy? He locks you hard in the extra deck. I don't know what else you're doing in the extra deck, really. I want to get the Destruction. What does he need? Level 6 or higher Dark Spellcaster. So you can use any of the... what is this guy up here? Spellcaster? You can use this guy. Or Black Chaos, the Dark Chaos Magician, to make the Dark Magician of Destruction, which can search you a like bad turn skip card, or not a turn skip. It's the what is it called? I don't even remember the name of it, but it negates all the effect. It negates all the opponent's monsters that are on field currently. So it's not a full turn skip, but it's pretty impactful. But you also can get like Timaeus and then make the quick play Timaeus and then make Dragoon, which is pretty good. That lock then is pretty rough, and this is the only guy who has a lock. He is more levels for like to close out the Skull Archfiend level gap, and he is Graceful Charity, but his lock is so rough. Honestly, the lock is optional. Maybe you just use this part, but then again, like, I guess it's pretty consistent to get to the ritual monsters, but this feels bad. This feels really bad to just be doing. Grifo gets you I mean, it can just do the regular Karibo thing. It can do the Sphere Karibo thing of being the full tribute cost, which is nice. And then it also gets you one of the quick play spells or traps. Okay, and then, so Black Chaos, the Dark Chaos Magician, I think the line is you have like the 3 Black Chaos, and you have like, I don't know, Armageddon Knight and Foolish Burial and stuff like that to get Skull Archfiend. Or to get the continuous trap, or to get Skull Archfiend in the grave. Somehow, just trying to get Skull Archfiend in the grave somehow. Skull Archfiend grabs you or sends the ritual spell to the graveyard and grabs the Black Chaos, the Dark Chaos Magician. You use the effect of Ritual Light and Darkness to grab itself and the summoned skull, or alternatively, if you use the Black Chaos, you grab him instead, because he's got 8 stars. Basically, that's the only reason why. Then you ritual summon Black Chaos, Dark Chaos Magician, using the ultimate guy up there, and the ritual spell. And then you use the effect on summon to add the ritual spell back to your hand. And then you get this guy somehow. Somehow you just get the Black Luster Soldier, and he's there too. Honestly, I don't even know if you want to summon him immediately. Anyways, like it might be the idea that you're just supposed to go Black Chaos, the Dark Chaos Magician, grab back the ritual spell, and wait a turn. You've got your Towers effect here, and this is not a quick effect. It's not a quick effect. Not quick. Are they like building these for Rush Duel? What are we doing here? You can't banish in Rush Duel. I'm kidding. I mean, Mystic Box of Chaos is nice, but you only get 1 search. It only searches a monster. There's no. I guess the Karibo can search, so you have to just draw into the Karibo, or you search it with the continuous trap. I feel like a big problem with this, and this is the same problem. It's not actually the same problem, now that I think about it. It's not the same problem. I was about to say it's the same problem that early Shining Sark had. It's not the same problem, though. Because early Shining Sark had 2 searches, 2 ways to search monsters. And then it had the spell that summoned more from the deck, and locked you out of the extra deck entirely. But this one doesn't have... It has 1 way to summon to search monsters, which is the continuous trap. And the thing about continuous traps is that you can't activate it the same turn it is put on the field. So you're running 1 continuous trap and 3 of this one to put it onto the field and just place it on the field face up. And then 3 of the Karibo to try and get it too. So that's 6 starters, which is fine. But then if you've used your Karibo, your Grifo, you can't get a quick play spell. You don't get your quick play spells, which are the most powerful part of the deck. The only things that do things on the opponent's turn, in fact. This guy doesn't do anything on the opponent's turn. This guy doesn't do anything on the opponent's turn. This guy doesn't do anything on the opponent's turn. This guy can block damage, 1 instance of damage on the opponent's turn. This guy doesn't do anything on the opponent's turn, unless you special summon him, in which case he just adds a spell from the graveyard. This guy only does something on the opponent's turn if you special summon him, and then it's just 1 banish. This doesn't do anything on the opponent's turn. This one does stuff on the opponent's turn, but only in response to a card or effect that targets another card you control. In which case it's a fairly strong card, but only if they're doing the target thing. It's cute for sure, but it's not really doing much. This card is doing something on the opponent's turn, but again, only in response to them activating a normal spell, trap card, or monster effect. Which is, that's a lot of effects right there, but it's the only one we have. It is an effect replacement though. It's really neat. And then this card is adding a monster to the hand and doing this little shuffle thing. So for this archetype, the end board off of a 1-card combo, which is the Black Chaos, the Ultimate Magical Swordsman, is Magical Swordsman, grab the Continuous Trap sends Skull Archfiend sends the Ritual spell and grabs Black Chaos, the Dark Chaos. I guess so. The continuous trap doesn't send him; it grabs him and then discards him. To be clear, and then the ritual comes back to the hand and gives you back the guy at the top, the ultimate swordsman guy, ultimate magical swordsman, and then you ritual summon Black Chaos to Dark Chaos using the ultimate swordsman as material, and then you grab the ritual spell back to hand, and then your one interruption on the opponent's turn off of the 1-card combo, you have to draw anything else you want, is the ability to tag into Blackluster Soldier and then get the special summon effect on a new chain. That is worse than Shining Sark. I don't know how they wrote these cards in a way that sounds like they should be stronger than Shining Sark. And yet, what we are ending on is just worse than Shining Sark. Now, one thing to note though is you can play these together with Shining Sark. There is nothing stopping you from playing these together with Shining Sark. So that's something to keep in mind. They both lock the extra deck pretty hard. So, you know, I guess there is one thing stopping you, is that honestly, Shining Sark doesn't even need to use the card that locks you out of the extra deck anymore. They have some pretty cool stuff they can do with the extra deck. But also, Shining Sark and this deck are going to take a lot of cards, a lot of space in the deck, unfortunately. I'm probably just going to get this card because it looks fucking awesome. I love the art on this. If you told me that was like ripped straight from a Kazuki Takahashi panel, I would believe you. It looks so nice. You get a little bit more if you happen to draw the Karibo and you also have the ultimate swordsman guy, because otherwise you need to use Gurifo to get the trap on the field. Also, if you draw into the Summon Skull guy, and you also have like the magical swordsman, you can use the effect to grab the Gurifo and then dump the Summon Skull anyways. Because of the way it adds and then discards, it works a little better for the deck. So it's not awful. It's still 2-card combos, but it's like several 2-card combos get you into a quick play spell. Which means that if you have one of these several 2-card combos, you can have a banish and an effect replacement, which isn't awful, but it could be a lot better. Again, thinking about it that way, I do think we just dump Celtic Sage. Yeah, sure, he draws 3 cards, discards 2. Sure, fine. You're not really using your normal summon in this deck either. But the lock is just so rough, and you can do all sorts of stuff with these cards without that lock. I feel like there's more you can do with these cards without that lock on than with it, potentially. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. That one I'm not sure on. It's going to require some experimentation. I guess if not, then it's a fine card. It gets you the ritual, or like an extra ritual monster on the field, which is cool, going second. And then it is also Graceful Charity. It feels like an obvious, like a card that's going to draw a lot of negates despite not really doing very much. And that's like, because it reads like Graceful Charity, right? And so like that's probably going to draw a lot of negates, negate hate, so you can do your combo. Like, but like again, the deck seems consistent enough to where you don't need that. It's just like what it consistently does is not super strong. That's the part I'm worried about. And don't get me wrong, if you're going to do a Graceful Charity effect, it's going to need to have this kind of lock on it. I'm not begrudging that in any way. I just think that I don't need the Graceful Charity effect that bad, if I'm being honest. I don't know. Well, I think that's all I can really say about these. Definitely interesting. I like some of the ideas going on in here, and I'm interested to see that Yugi is back on the card packs. I wonder what that means. Like, it feels like we're entering a new era. We've been in this like post-Vrains era for a while. This, I guess you could call it Sevens. The era where the anime is focused on rush duels, and so the card game is also kind of focused on rush duels, quote unquote, in a way, and everything that was coming out was just retrains, right? And these are retrains too, but now they're retrains with the anime characters on there again. Like they stopped putting the anime characters on there. They started putting Yugi on there like 20 years ago. But I don't remember. I don't think they've had anime characters on the packs. Like not at least not for core sets. Even before they switched from DM to GX, they stopped doing that. I wonder. It definitely shows that there's shifts happening at Konami. We've known that because they're doing the overframes and they're restructuring the way sets work. They're not unfortunately not doing the OCG rarity structures yet, but they are changing like what's in the sets to make them better buys. Like B-Pro, like look at B-Pro. B-Pro has so much better cards than normal, and it seems like to signal this new era, they're trying something new with the card packs. I think that's interesting. It definitely feels like a new era happening. I guess we'll have to see what that means for Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm interested. I just hope that we get. I think a second wave could still fix. These are good fundamentals of a card. These don't feel as hard. They don't even feel as hard to fix as Shining Sark, despite the fact that Shining Sark started off better, in my opinion. And even Shining Sark is a better deck. Like, Shining Sark is actually, it's not great, but it is fairly playable now. Especially with the new Dark Magician stuff coming in Mesa Muertes. And I think this deck also benefits from that stuff too. And I think a second wave or so, maybe like they might just string them out over the course of several sets like they did for Shining Sark, but they might not now that they have this new structured. It's very possible that this could become a playable deck at some point. I just don't see it right now. But there's promise here for sure. A lot of very powerful effects in here, just not in service of much on the end board, which is, this is just the way it is sometimes. All right, that's it from me. I'm going to stop yapping so my editor doesn't yell at me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you think about these new cards and this new direction for Yu-Gi-Oh! What are you thinking about this stuff? Let me know down below, and I'll see ya in the next one. Whoa, before you go there, partner, this is me a little while later, a few days, is it a week yet? After this first part was recorded. In the time it's taken to get this video edited, the El Exordio del Duelista video came out, and honestly completely changed my thinking of this deck. I just was not quite conceptualizing how much this deck does turn zero. And I think that's really interesting. I'll have to turn off the sound, but like, if you like see what this deck is able to do, and obviously this is them going first, but like, I'll show you in a second what it looks like when you're going second with this deck. And it is, one, the fact that this deck could just play through so much stuff is really nice. I love the way Chaos Hats lets you blank Veiler like this. Really cool, Veiler or Imperm. There's just like so much interesting stuff going on. Like even Celtic Sage is like so interesting here just because it's another name that you could do Chaos Hat stuff with. And it's just like something to do with your normal summon that it just gets you into more cards. Obviously you can get into Waking the Dragon, and then if they happen to pop it like they do here, you get to do some funny stuff. You get to use Waking Dragon to get out the Exterio. Very funny. But if we skip ahead to the game where they're going second against Ryziel Mitsurugi, in the opponent's turn, they are using the Karibo, the new Garifo, to just get the trap on the field right off the bat, and then do the Skull Servant thing. So now we have a ritual monster in the hand right off the bat. We can go ahead and grab the one that's an interruption instead of the one that gets a spell back to hand. Pretty cool. Our opponent goes Ice Ryziel. We go Multiplying Karibo. Multiplying Karibo, I forgot about. This card is crazy for this deck. Not only can it get you into Garifo, but it can also grab, it's not grabbing it yet, we're going to go Phydralis first, which, Phydralis is going to be a huge thing for this deck, because Phydralis summons, pops, and then is a body on field. It also sends the pack bit, so we can put that in the back row. They go X'd and Aggregator, but then we go Mind Shuffle here. Mind Shuffle put the Phydralis back in the hand to summon out the Black Luster Soldier we added to hand. Isn't that fucking insane? Isn't that crazy? That's so cool. I just really love this, and I'm really excited to see what you can do with this kind of stuff. They go node, but then we go multiplying Karibo, and we can grab the other target, detonating Karibo. Detonating Karibo is just a negate. It's not a great negate, but it is a negate. Like look how much stuff is happening that they're just able to... Like, the opponent is still able to get to detonator, but man, they had to work for it. And for a deck that I said was worse than Gold Sark, I gotta eat those words. This is in no way worse than Gold Sark. This is genuinely really cool. I like the axis upon which this deck plays. It's very low to the ground, but very, very like giving up resources to get new resources. But it just has so many interactions. This deck is so cool. I really like this. So I just wanted to show that off and correct what I was saying here, because this is, like, look at that. That's really cool. What's it doing in this match here against Draco Tail again? I really love the going second part of it. Like, that's just really incredible to me. The fact it's able to just bounce the Phydralis back to hand to summon out the ritual monster is crazy. Literally, I think the only reason they're on the Celtic Sage is just to have another target for the hats. Like, I don't really see any other reason to play Celtic Sage other than to be a target for hats. Like a really easy to access target for hats. In fact, like, otherwise, I think you could do something better with your normal summon otherwise, but like, it is a target for hats. I don't know. And then if you manage to pop Waking the Dragon, that's fucking insane. I mean, they'll pop it eventually, right? They have to get rid of it eventually. Wow. Really cool. Really, really cool. I was totally wrong about this deck. This deck is awesome. I fucking love this. All right. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe, all that. Make sure you subscribe. It's like, my editor, deserves your sub. Hit the button. Subscribe to Exordio too. Like, I don't know. I think maybe I'm just being tricked by, YouTube replays, and Exordio can be like one of the main sources of that. But I think Exordio, more so than a lot of other channels, is pretty realistic about what they're putting on the table. And they actually run the decks against pretty good decks, instead of dog shit like I do. For my deck profiles, I just ran against whatever the heck I could find, and I didn't have time to get someone to work with me on that. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm very tired. Bye. Hey there, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a lot more for you if you want them. Just hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications. I'd also appreciate if you left me a like and a comment and maybe shared the video around with your friends. You can also follow me on all the usual social media sites. Just check out my website in the description below for more info. My videos are funded by my patrons, Ko-fi subscribers, and YouTube members, whose names you'll see scrolling by in these credits here. For just $1 a month, you too could find yourself here, trapped in my end screen for all eternity, among other benefits. In particular, I'd like to thank Jeremy Coatney, Frog Prince Michael, Fleakill, Haru Hayes, the Almighty Ferret Lord, Fire Mizumi, Beastman, Bryn, and Beelzis. A big thanks to all my patrons and to my little community as a whole. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful whatever time it is for you. Bye-bye.